Yo, what's up? This your boy Derek Branch here, Saint Discussions on Strike Self Sports. And before I get into the content of our live stream tonight, I just want to thank everybody who subscribe, any new subscribers to our platform. Just got the word that the notification that we reached over 700 subscribers on YouTube. That's a huge accomplishment for me, for the Strike Self Sports brand, the Saint Discussions on Strike Self Sports brand. We are, so that means that we're 300 subscribers away from 1,000, which is the one of the significant benchmarks for having a popular, bigger YouTube channel, and where that allows your content to be reached by, to be seen by more people, more potential subscribers that may be Saints fans. So thank everyone for subscribing. We're gonna keep going. We're gonna keep pushing, and we're gonna be one of the biggest Saints brands out here on YouTube. Strike Seven Sports brand's gonna be big. The whole thing is, we're gonna be one of the premier destinations for the New Orleans Saints. For other teams that we cover in the South, in the Mid South region, the Grizzlies, the Memphis Tigers football and basketball program, the Saints. We've also got some more teams coming on from as well from the South. Going to put it in the community tab later in the day, or probably tomorrow. But thanks for everybody that's subscribed to the channel, and showing your support. All right, so this is the first live stream that I've did since the holiday season. Last one I did was talking about just the ongoing talk around the Wall Saints organization, as far as those individuals, Dennis Allen, Derek Carr, Mickey Loomis, their status going forward. But there's a lot that's transpired since. Saints beat the Buccaneers last week. A game that they needed to win. A lot of people wasn't too confident that they could win that game. I felt as though they could beat the Buccaneers, but they got it done. You know what I'm saying? But something that has came up these last few days leading up to this Saints versus Falcons game, the season finale, final game of the season. Saints need to win that game to keep their playoff hopes alive, but they also need help from the Carolina Panthers to win the NFC South title. If they do that, that'll be the first NFC South title since the 2020 season, when Drew Brees was still with the team. Also, but if that scenario can't happen, the second scenario is that they beat the Falcons, but they'll have to get help from the Arizona Cardinals, who played the Seattle Seahawks, and they will need help from Chicago Bears, who play the Green Bay Packers. Now, if any one of those team win those games, the Saints are eliminated from the playoffs altogether. It's over. The season is done. You know what I'm saying? But if Seattle loses, Green Bay loses, that playoff spot will go to the Saints. So that's the situation this Sunday. That's what's going to happen this Sunday. So with that being said, um, something that has come upon my timeline on Twitter or X, or whatever you want to call it. I still call it Twitter, and that's this Marshon Lattimore trade rumor stuff going. That has been trending the last couple of days, and it all started from an article that was published by New Orleans Football's Nick Underhill. Now, if you have not heard by now, the Saints have restructured Marshon Lattimore's contract now, but it's different this time because I'm subscribed to New Orleans Football, and I went ahead and got a chance to read that article yesterday to check out what Underhill was talking about. So they restructured the contract, but this is a little different from compared to previous years where they restructure it, and they push the money down the road into, like, lessen the cap hit on that upcoming season. So where that money is converted to a signing bonus that spread the cap hit out. this is a little bit different. This is different from what I've read. I'm just going to go ahead and summarize what he put out. So this is instead of a signing bonus that Lattimore will be getting, it's an option bonus, and the option bonus does not kick in until 1 week before the start of the 2024 season. So that's next season that option bonus doesn't kick in. Will kick in. So so sum it all up, you know, um, if they wanted to trade him before that June date deadline where you can move players and all that, you know, the June 2nd deadline, they said the financial blow will not be as bad if they had to make that happen. You know what I'm saying? So according to this piece is that Lattimore counted as 25 million against the cap previously. Now, with this due to this restructure, this current transaction, it's going to be easier for the Saints to carry him onto the roster until June 2nd. At that time, he could be traded, and the team could split the money up over 2 seasons. And like I said, the dead money on the Saints books will be in the low teens, according to this piece by Underhill at 2024, and then it'll be up to 20 million in 2025. And according to what Underhill is saying, that these numbers are manageable, and it'll be less expensive to make an outright a trade before that deadline, that June 2nd deadline. So with that being said, man, according to what this article what this article is saying is that under there is I would say some friction going on behind the scenes between Lattimore and I'm assuming the coaching staff on his availability. That's been what a lot of people has been saying. A lot of what has been written in this article by Nick Underhill is that you know I'm assuming this is the coaching staff. Maybe Mickey Loomis as well. Dennis Allen is that it felt as though he is taking too much time to recover from these injuries. Last year he missed a lot of time. He missed a significant portion of the season last year after that guy from the Seahawks fell on his stomach, had that injury, and this year he's out. He's out for the season unless you know um unless he comes unless the Saints make the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? So there you have it. You know what I'm saying? It's you know I was hearing there was some rumblings early in the season. Well, yeah, early in the season when people talking about how well Paulson Debo was playing and Alante Taylor was playing and saying that maybe that could make Marshon Lattimore expendable, make him tradable. I don't know, man. That's a risky to me, man. That's a risky move, man. You got to have a good plan in place if you decide to trade. If you decide to trade Marshon Lattimore, because there hasn't been a lot of corners in the National Football League that can neutralize an opposing team's wide receiver. That a guy that can take somebody off the stat sheet. That's what he is capable of doing, and we have seen him done it before. He done it against Mike Evans a bunch of times. So they got to get back to they got to go back to the table, man. And talk to Marshawn Lattimore and his team, and the Saints. They got to talk about this, man, because you trade this guy, man. You can set this franchise, you can set that defense back a long time because prior to that, prior to getting the Saints having Marshawn Lattimore, I remember how bad it was when the Saints had the Saints had all these you know, second rate, mediocre defensive backs lining up against wide receivers, and the Saints would just give up all kind of big plays. Those years, that's when the Saints had some of the worst defenses in the National Football League. Before that's prior to Marshon Lattimore getting there. And now you got Marshon Lattimore. Now, ever since you drafted Marshon Lattimore, that secondary has been solid, especially on his side of the field. You know what I'm saying? So it's you know that's risky business, man. Risky business, in my opinion. But then again, on the flip side of this, the pros to this is that Lattimore is one of those players that you can get some compensation for. And when I say compensation, you can at least get a first round pick for him. I think he's worth a first round pick. He's still young in his career. He's still a young player, Pro Bowl type cornerback. He goes somewhere. He could be a final piece, or one of the pieces that transform a team into a Super Bowl caliber defense. He's that good. So you best believe if the Saints do decide to part ways with Lattimore, he is worth a first round pick. He is worth the first round pick. It's just that simple. You don't a first round pick or nothing less. Not second. We're not. We actually the bargaining chip should be at least a first round pick. Of a contender. If a contender wants Marshon Lattimore, they should be giving up a first round pick to the Saints. And you look at the Saints, their draft picks this season, this upcoming NFL draft. There's not a lot of they don't have a lot of draft picks, man. They don't. So you give up Lattimore, yeah, at least you would have an extra first round pick along with your other first round pick. So and also you'll have the from Denver that you gave up for Sean to get Sean let Sean Payton go to the Broncos. And that could be a high pick as well. You know what I'm saying? So it's a to me, it's a double edged sword. It's a double edged sword if you decide to trade Marshall Lattimore. Because I see the pros of doing it, and that a pros of it is you can get some draft capital for Marshall Lattimore, you know. And the cons is who do you put over there? Are we ready to trust Paulson and Debo like that? You know what I'm saying? Are we ready to, hand the reins over to him as a cornerback, as a team's top corner? Because that's what he's going to become. But you're going to need another guy over there, another reliable corner. Are you going to put Alontae Taylor back on the outside and put somebody else in the slot? You know what I'm saying? So it's a double edged sword if you ask me. You know what I'm saying? It's just risky business. So this has been a lot has been going on, man. A lot of stuff has been going, a lot of rumors that have been circling around. The Dennis Allen stuff is still alive and well, regardless of what has been said by national media. That somehow that believe that um um that this whole idea of trading Marshall Lattimore is because he is upset with Dennis Allen. He don't like the coaching staff, and it's kind of like forming a mutiny against the team. So it's like you gonna trade me, or you gonna fire Dennis Allen. Which one is gonna be? That's what some people people are starting to speculate. That's the issue that's driving this. So we just gotta see how it's gonna play out, man. We're gonna find out on January 8th, like I said before. On January 8th, we'll find out everything of what's really gonna go down. Some people out there think Dennis Allen is gonna be fired. You know, so we'll see how it's gonna play out. I think if you don't have a legitimate plan on how to replace Lattimore's production, I'm not saying that um the next guy got to come in and beat Lattimore, but you got to have a solid plan in place to replace the production. You got to have that, So we'll see how it play out. All right, so moving right along. So there's an other article that came out a few days ago. I wanted to get to as well. Is this story that came out from the Bleach Report, talking about 2000, that's titled 2024 NFL offseason trades that make too much sense to actually happen. So every time these articles come out, they always involve a Saints player. Every time these articles come out, and this article, the trade that makes too much sense, um, for the that's one of the trades that make a lot, and it's fourth on the list out of comes in at number four, and that's Alvin Kamara going to the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, for Alvin's sake, career wise for him, going to the Kansas City Chiefs makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense, because that team needs weapons, as you may have seen. As you may have seen, they need a lot of weapons. They need help. So, trading Alvin Kamara to the Chiefs would make sense for his career and for that team. Now, the compensation of what the Saints will receive is a 2024 second round pick. I mean, that's fair. That's fair. But if I'm the Saints, I will ask for another second round pick, at least two. So give me a second and a forward, a second and a third. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to go ahead and read what this writer put out on why the Saints should trade Alvin Kamara. Why Alvin Kamara to going to the Chiefs will make a lot of sense. The Kansas City Chiefs have managed to thrive without a star running back for years, but there now looks to be a need for a dynamic playmaker in the backfield. The Chiefs initially seemed to be set with Isaiah Pacheco handling the rushing load and Jerry McKinnon working as a pass catcher, but polarizing play and injuries have hindered this dynamic. The Chiefs are averaging a middling 103 yards, 103.8 yards per game on the ground, and have scored just 9 rushing touchdowns heading into the final game of the season. They've also taken a step back in the passing attack, averaging over 50 yards fewer than they did during last year's Super Bowl winning campaign. After suffering through the worst regular season of Patrick Mahomes' era, coupled with disappointing 2020 first round pick Clyde Edwards-Helaire, former LSU Tiger, and the aging McKinnon, both set to become free agents, there is no better time to make a splash. Alvin Kamara could be exactly who the Chiefs need to reignite their offense. The versatile New Orleans Saints star may not be the elite rusher he was early in his career, totaling a mediocre 694 yards and 5 scores on 180 totes, but he's still a high-end pass catcher off the backfield. Despite missing the first 3 weeks of the season due to his suspension, he's managed to tally up an impressive 75 receptions, 466 yards, and a touchdown with one game left to play. Kamara can seamlessly take over the backfield receiving role that McKinley usually assumes, while offering far more when his number is called for rushing plays than the 2.9 yards per attempt that McKinnon can average in 2023. Kamara would make it will make for an ideal complement to Pacheco and could keep defenses honest when he is on the field. While he's 28 years old and on an expensive contract, Kamara may be convinced to take a pay cut in exchange for a real chance to chase the ring, something he will likely won't get if he remains in the Big Easy. All right. So my counter to that is, um, I don't think his numbers are down because of what the Saints have been going through in offense. That's why his numbers are down to a certain extent. Yeah, his rushing numbers have always been like this. His rushing numbers have always been like this, man. He's always rushed for like 600, 700, 800 yards, man. but his receiving numbers is where it's taking a decline. He usually have over 800, 700, 800 receiving yards. You know, but um, Alvin Kamara could take a pay cut. Whatever Kamara take a pay cut to go play for a ring, maybe. You know what I'm saying? Maybe, maybe not. You know, a second round pick for an extra second round pick for the Saints makes a lot of sense because, like I said, this team does not have a lot of draft assets right now. They really don't have. I went and chick looked at it the other day. They don't have a lot of draft picks, man. They really don't. But Alvin Kamara going to the Saints, going to the Chiefs for his career and that team makes a lot of sense. Also, I wouldn't be surprised if Michael Thomas goes over there. And that makes a lot of sense as well because their wide receiver is not right. Their wide receiver core is not what it used to be. They don't attack the field like they used to. You know what I'm saying? So that would do a whole lot for their careers, man. But if you have to trade Lattimore and AK, that would signify a slight rebuild to me for the New Orleans Saints. That would signify the Saints going into a rebuild because you just traded two of your cornerstone players that have been a part of this franchise since the 2017, 2016. Michael Thomas came in 2016. Alvin Kamara came in 2017. They have been with this team for a long time, for a hot minute, but that would signify his team going to a rebuild, some sort of something that will resemble a rebuild with Derek Carr as your quarterback. You know what I'm saying? But um, like as I said with the Marshon Lattimore, what type of player are you gonna find that can resemble whatever Kamara does? Are you ready? Are we ready to hand that over to Kendrick Miller? A running back that has yet to stay healthy. I've seen flashes of what Miller can do in the preseason, but he's only provided to me. Miller has only provided a small sample size. You know, so are the Saints at that point where they would trade Kamara and hand it over to Kendrick Miller, or should they look into the draft for a running back to go along with Miller? You know, but that piece that's nothing official yet. That's just somebody's opinion. It's a proposal. I've seen those stories all the time. They always involve the Saints, but you know, a player like that, man, he has a lot left in the tank. A lot left as a running back, as a playmaker. He has a lot left to provide that team, to provide the Saints or anybody else. And you better have somebody that can come in and assume that role. Because I don't think Kendrick Miller is like a bell cow runner, is a every down back. I think I think Kendrick Miller is more. He might have more power than Alvin Kamara, but he's not like a bell cow. He's not like a Mark Ingram. He is more of what he's more of a. I think he is a version of Alvin Kamara with power. I think you're gonna need another running back to go along with him, and I don't know if that's gonna be Jamal Williams. That could be Jamal Williams. We'll see. But um, interesting times with the Saints right now. Interesting times. Season comes to an end this Sunday against the Atlanta Falcons. EBD by 6 o'clock, 6 o'clock at night, in the afternoon, in the evening. We'll know if the Saints are going to the playoffs or the playoff hopes are gone forever, gone for this season. We're gonna find out. And days after that, we'll know we're gonna know for sure if Dennis Allen will be with this team going forward. We'll know for sure. And also, if um, you know, they're gonna get rid of the staff, we're gonna start making changes to the staff on offense with Pete Carmichael, you know what I'm saying, and other personnel. But um me personally, man, I think he stayed. I think Dennis Allen's gonna stay. I think they're gonna move on from Pete Carmichael, man. So we'll see how it play out. So all right, that's all I have for y'all for right now, man. Give me a like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Let me know how you feel. How do you feel about the Saints trading Marshon Lattimore and possibly they decide to trade Alvin Kamara? How would you feel about that? Do you think it's the right move to make, or do you think the Saints should hang on to them and try to figure out a way to make it work going forward with Derek Carr? Also, check out strike7sports.com/Saints for latest content on the One Saints organization. I'll have a new story coming out tomorrow. And that'll be the preview in the Falcons versus Saints Week 18 matchup. Be on the lookout for it. I'll share it in the community tab of the page tomorrow. Have a blessed day. Peace. I'm out. Who that?